Today's story comes from the book of Amos in the Old Testament. Amos lived in what the people of God called the Promised Land. It was the place where God had led them after their escape from Egypt and time in the desert. They'd been at home there for many generations. Amos would have perhaps been a great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchild of the people who left Egypt with Moses. He would have grown up learning God's 10 best ways and trying to follow the rules the people of God had been given long ago. He knew that the most important things were to love God and to love other people. Amos was a shepherd, but he probably took care of goats or cattle rather than sheep. And he was also a prophet. Prophets are people who come so close to God, and God comes so close to them, that they know what God wants them to say or do. Amos looked around him at the way the people of God were living. They believed that they were God's chosen people, and they were going through all the motions of showing love to God. Great festivals, offerings, songs, sacrifices. But they weren't following God's best ways for how to treat each other or others. They weren't stopping to notice and sit with those who suffered. They weren't sharing what they had with the poor. They weren't standing up for those whose voices weren't heard. They were only worried about taking care of themselves. They were acting like they loved God, but they weren't loving others, and God says we can't do one and not the other. So God was unhappy with the people. Now, Amos didn't want bad things to happen to the people of God. He wasn't rooting against them, even if he was bothered by how they were living. He wanted them to change their ways and show their love both for God and for other people. And he even prayed for them. He also didn't shy away from telling them what God said. Listen to this message from God that Amos shared with the people. I reject your festivals. I don't enjoy your joyous assemblies. If you bring me your entirely burned offerings and gifts of food, I won't be pleased. I won't even look at your offerings of well-fed animals. Take away the noise of your songs. I won't listen to the melody of your harps. But let justice roll down like waters, and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. You see, when we love others freely and fully, we love God too.